Look, Baruch, Erev Tov. Before the mitzvah of blowing shofar, as it is a Torah obligation, Chachamim came along and they said that we need to make a beracha before we do the mitzvah. Similar like tefillin, tzitzit, many of the mitzvot that we do, before we do the mitzvah, Chachamim came and they instituted to make a blessing before we do the mitzvah. The Rambam explains one of the purposes for doing this is in order that we're mindful and we acknowledge that we are about to fulfill a Torah obligation. And therefore, Chachamim came along and they instituted for us to do brachot. So look at the bracha that we make for shofar. And based on the bracha, we really see what the chiyuv is. The chiyuv is not to blow a shofar. The shofar has to be blown. The obligation is that the shofar has to be heard. And the proof is, it's different than other mitzvot. For example, one person can't put on tefillin for many people, or one person can't put on tefillin for even one other individual. Every single man over bar mitzvah has an obligation to put tefillin, bind them to their very arm, and you can't have a messenger do it for you. But shofar is different. Shofar does not need to be blown by every individual, as one person blows for Rosh Hashanah. It needs to be heard. And therefore, the bracha that we make for Tekiyat Shofar is Lishmoa Kol Shofar, that we are hearing the blasts, the sound of the shofar. And this is the blessing the Baal Tokea makes on behalf of everybody. Now if by mistake the bracha of Litkoa b'shofar was made, it's good. We don't go back and make another bracha. But again, the mitzvah is, yes, one person has to blow, but everyone has to hear it. Now on the first day of the Hag, besides for the bracha of Lishmoa B'Kol Shofar, we also have the bracha of Shechianu V'Kimanu V'Gianu L'Zeman Hazeh. Even though we've been blowing it all Elul long, we still make that bracha because now we're blowing it as a chiyuv, as an obligation, and it's the first day. The second day we won't make a Shechianu. Last thing when it comes to the brachot is whoever is blowing a shofar, or the rabbi of whatever synagogue you might be praying at, the proper thing is before the blowing of the shofar should get up and say that whoever is making the bracha on the shofar and is blowing for everybody is doing so and having in mind to fulfill and acquit everyone's obligation for listening to the shofar for Rosh Hashanah. As we said, the Torah obligation is only to listen to shofar on the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. Everything that we do prior to that is important, it's good, we need to do it, but those are minhag. The Torah obligation is listening to it on Rosh Hashanah. So B'ezrat Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu will get us to the day of judgment. It's in less than 2 weeks. B'ezrat Hashem will have a good judgment, a strong judgment, a successful judgment for ourselves, our families, and all Am Yisrael. Amen. Amen. After Arvi.